Hey gang, UV here. Today I'm in Iowa, near Runnels, Iowa, and I'm at Howard Clark's knife making studio. If any of you have never heard of him, Howard Clark is a renowned sword maker, Japanese sword maker, in addition to being a really well-known knife maker. And I'm taking a week-long class here, and we're doing kitchen knives. And Howard gave me permission to give you a little tour of the place. So let's take a look around. So right now we're inside the forging area. This is the forge that we forged some of our knives in earlier in the week. And this is a really cool setup. Not a lot of people have a setup like this. This is his salt bath heating, treating area. So that salt bath is used for tempering, and it's really neat because, you know, I'm so used to just people water quenching or oil quenching items, and I've never experienced the salt bath quenching, and it is really neat. And here's Howard's power hammer. It's a nasal, wonderful machine, great modulation, very heavy, and the dies are as true as can be. Their flats are very flat, and very impressed by the machine. And he's got a kiln over here for preheating his swords to go into the salt bath, another tempering or heat treating kiln there, some welding equipment, some other equipment. It's amazing how much equipment there is just tucked into little corners. Oh, bonus, if you take a class with Howard, you get to drink homemade beer when it comes to beer o'clock. And man, I love it. You know, I'm not into the hoppy stuff, and fortunately neither is Howard. Anyhow, this is his sanding area. He's got 3 very large, very powerful grinders. That's wired up on 3-phase. That's a 3-phase, and that's a single phase. They both work very well for what he needs to use them for, and I've really found them to be a joy to work with. And now we come to Howard's little hand tool, hand working area, and his desk. This is pretty neat. This is his Rockwell Hardness tester machine, and we used that a few days ago. And if you don't know what Rockwell Hardness is, that's just one way people gauge hardness, and people in the knife community definitely would know what that is. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. This is really neat. Apparently these are all his swords that have one thing or another wrong with them that you can't use, but they're basically lessons here. It's a pretty neat scrap pile right there in the corner. And so this is his machine room, and he's got a mill, lathe underneath here. And this is really neat. This is his surface grinder, which he's attached a belt pulley attachment, so he can use his belts on surface grinding, which is something that he did to flatten out the platens at the beginning of the class. If any of you are into knife making, definitely look up Howard Clark, Morgen Valley Forge, located near Runnels, Iowa. I highly recommend his classes. He's very knowledgeable, and you know, I took a class here with a beginner that had no forging experience, and he whipped out a couple knives that were wonderful. Oh yeah, let's take a quick look at the knives. Here's one my classmate is working on. He's a professional knife sharpener, and he had no forging experience, but he was able to do some really nice work just on the first day. These are my knives. This is a chopper. So also, this is going to be more for vegetable chopping and some light work with meat. And then This is a little gift from my wife for our 9-year wedding anniversary. But it's pretty neat. It has a natural hamon from the heat treating. You can see there. So yeah, that's it. Anyhow, like I said, check out Morgen Valley Forge, Howard Clark. If you're into knife making, this is a guy that's very approachable and extremely knowledgeable, especially about the science of what's happening with the steel while you're working it. Also, he does do a class strictly on metallurgy. So this is the place. Anyhow, really appreciate you guys watching. Have a nice day unless you have other plans. Peace.